Hey guys, this is James, the non-professional, back with another episode of Draw. And today we're doing Moana and Maui from Disney's Moana. This is a comic book rendering, so it's not the traditional Disney cartoon. Just as I did with Elsa way back when, and I did with The Little Mermaid, and what J. Scott Campbell does with his, I guess, fairy tale fantasies. It's a comic book version of, Disney or classic cartoon characters. So we got Moana in front, she's holding a giant oar, and of course Maui in the back. So we are in roughs, so let's keep our shapes simple. Let's throw some concepts on the stage, see what works, what doesn't work, and let's try to understand the parts of the anatomy, the parts of the character makeup, and put it together. I do have a sort of a upward camera angle on here. Camera is low and it's sort of shooting up at both Maui and Moana there, and it's a single point perspective, so you see me drawing those parallel lines, lining up the bust line, lining up the shoulders, trying my best to line up the chin, even though, man, it was such a challenge. I drew that head and that chin. The upward angle, as you know in my previous videos, is just a very challenging thing for me to do. But anyways, I try to line up that chin, not the jaw, just the chin, with that line there, and then the eyes with those parallel lines there. And you'll see me do it with Maui as well. I keep him on that same parallel plane as Moana there. So one of the difficult things about drawing Moana and Maui was just the ethnic features of the face. So for those of you who are familiar with the movie Moana, you know that the story takes place in the culture of Polynesians or Tongans, and their facial features aren't typical of what you would see in a Disney movie like Rapunzel or like, Brave or Frozen. Their noses aren't those, sort of upturned little button noses like you would see in those movies I just mentioned. They have a wider base to their nose, and their nose is a little bit flatter, and their nostrils are they're just not as pronounced. They're just sort of flat or straight down or straight across. I don't know how to describe that correctly, but if you just look at the drawing, you understand what I'm saying. They don't have sort of flared nostrils. It's just sort of flat, straight across. And I try to replicate that in these characters that I drew here. The second just ridiculously difficult thing to do with this drawing was, as you see there, was Maui's tattoos. I mean, they essentially cover his whole body, save for a few open spots. If you don't know the story, those tattoos represent all the story of his life. Basically, all the major events in his life are represented by those tattoos. So you're basically drawing little stories throughout his whole body. And I used a lot of blackout method for it because obviously they're tattoos, so they're typically going to be in all black, And man, it took a long time. It took a lot of referencing, and to be honest, I didn't get it all right, man. I had to find ways to fit certain details of his tattoos in the comic book form, because there's a lot of surface space in the cartoon, because it's just an animated figure, and you don't have the hard details that you would in a comic book, because comic books use these black lines. So I have the black lines that represent the chest muscle, represent the roundness of the belly, represent the bicep and the tricep, and the forearm muscles and the neck muscles. And I had to do all that while figuring out how to place his tattoos on that anatomy. And so you see me use a lot of blackout and a lot of transition from just regular inks into blackout as it crosses over into the tattoo. You'll see that on the neck there, and you'll see that on the arms and the biceps and the chest as well, where you'll see a black line, and once that black line crosses into a tattoo, then it turns into a white line. And it was a very difficult, very time-consuming thing. I didn't even get a video out on time because of it. I typically try to do a video a day, but for bigger projects like this, it's just hard for me to do that. it is one of my more favorite Disney animated films, simply because not only is the aesthetics of the movie just phenomenal. I mean, the animation of the water and just the colors and just the, I guess, celestial sort of soundtrack that they have, the, you know, Island Paradise sort of soundtrack that they have. It's a phenomenal movie. It's a very feel good movie. But the thesis or the moral of the story isn't the typical one you would find where you chase your dreams and disregard everything and everybody else in order for you to accomplish that dream. It wasn't like that at all. Moana, she had this aspiration to go out into the ocean and be an explorer, and she denied that dream in order to do what she had to do, which was to take care of her people. And it only when taking care of her people necessitated that she go out to the ocean did she determine to go out and be an explorer. But if you haven't seen the movie, it's a great movie. Give it a watch. Hope you guys learned some things. Always remember your 3 Ps: persistence, patience, perseverance. That's how you mature in any endeavor. Hey guys, if you like my content, please like or comment below. And if you want regular updates, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.